Joining me now, our good friend, Power the Future's very own Daniel Turner. Daniel, you have educated us endlessly on our consumption of power and how it is increasing exponentially and how we need to do so much more than we've been doing. Is there any good news on that front?
The president had an executive action to inject some support into the coal industry, which I think is very important. A lot of people are apoplectic because they think coal is antiquated and old and we don't need coal. The Biden administration shut down 100 coal plants over the last 4 years, and there was never a referendum, right? No one had an election on it. There was just, they passed new regulations at the EPA, and the coal plants couldn't comply. And so the response was shut them down. And what happened to our electric bills nationwide, right? Is anyone paying less than they did when Joe Biden took office? And coal is a third of our electricity production. It used to be more. Natural gas has replaced a lot of that. But it's still a third of our country runs on coal, not to mention steel production, cement production, plastics production, rubber production, all is made from coal. Manufacturing all runs on coal. Car plants, timber mills all run on coal. So this idea that we can somehow move on beyond coal is quite frankly juvenile. I have argued with folks on social media, as sometimes I have to do. People are like, well, I thought you hated subsidies, and to have a little bit of fun. I said, well, this isn't a subsidy. This is reparations. You all love reparations, right? This is reparations of 12 years of Obama and Biden changing regulations to purposely punish an industry that they don't like and plunging tens of thousands of our fellow Americans into poverty as they shuttered coal plants nationwide, driving up the nation's electric bill 40% because John Kerry is worried about the ice caps or whatever BS we have to listen to. So it's not a subsidy, Jesse. This is much due reparations of crimes committed by Democrats, presidents against our tens of thousands of coal miners, and I think it's well-deserved.
Daniel, how do we, and I'm worried the answer is nothing, but what can we do now to ensure that the next time we elect a communist, and there will be a next time,
Yep.
Nothing lasts forever, how do we ensure these people don't come in and wreck as much as they possibly can like they have before? Because we cannot possibly rebuild coal plants and refineries and pipelines as fast as these people can shut them down. It's not humanly possible. Is there anything we can do that we're not doing?
Yeah. It's a brilliant question, and it's where I'm spending a lot of my time, which is in Washington, D.C., in the legislature, because what we need are legislative fixes that tie the hands of the next president. It's what the founders envisioned when they wanted a strong legislative branch and not an all-powerful executive branch. They never envisioned departments of energy and departments of interior and departments of this and that. So what can we do is we can demand our legislators change the game so that the next president will come in and doesn't have that power anymore. And you are 100% right. We're relishing this moment as if it's going to last forever, but the bad guys will be back. And not only will they be back, they'll be super, super angry, and they'll be looking for vengeance. They think Trump is vengeful. They should pray to God I never have the power that Trump had. You think Dr. Fauci wouldn't have been in shackles by now? I mean, Steve Bannon was in jail for 4 months. Peter Navarro, they dragged him out of Reagan Airport in shackles because he defied a presidential subpoena. They should pray to God I never have presidential power. President Trump has been temperate. If anything, he's been moderate in his revenge. But the Democrats will not be that way. Look at what they did to the president. Look at what they did to his administration. Look at what they did to anyone who walked through the Capitol Rotunda standing between the red velvet rope lines as they took photos, right? Solitary confinement for a year. So when they get power, and you're right, they will, they are coming after all of us way more ruthlessly than they have in the past. The only way to fix it is to have legislators make permanent fixes. But our legislators, as you know, for the most part, are awful. They're just genuinely awful. They're spending their time making stock picks and they are trying to get on the next congressional delegation to a foreign country so that they can travel with their spouse for free. And so I don't have a lot of hope that we're going to get any of these fixes. I knock on congressmen's door all the time, and they're like, "Oh, these are great issues, but we just got to get through this next continuing resolution." Shutdown, again, continuing resolution. How many years have we been playing this nonsense game? Like, oh, next time, Jesse, next time we're going to fix the budget so we don't have to, sure. And we punt into the future, and we punt into the future. So try to do what we can now, but pray to God that some people are smart enough to make permanent, lasting change so the next president is weak.
Brandon, again, speaking with speaking with Daniel Turner, I'm the highest you can be on cold medication right now, Daniel. So you're talking to a druggie right now. I'm a big drug guy. I'm a huge drug. I'm basically Keith Richards. Speaking with Daniel Turner, Power of the Future. Lee Zeldin, who I have a lot of respect for. Lee Zeldin's the head of the EPA, and he's doing good, right?
Very good. Yeah, and he is clawing back a lot of the bad Biden did. But let's use a very simple analogy. You know, your car, your ex-girlfriend drove your car 15 feet into the ditch. It is going to take a lot of work to get that thing out of the ditch. We're not even talking about driving it yet. We're talking about clearing the brushes and the trees. We're talking about getting in the necessary tow trucks and winches. And we're talking about trying to get the damn thing out of the ditch. And that's what he's doing. But we are not driving forward yet. We are undoing damage done by the Biden administration. And I've told people, if Trump ends these 4 years and he just has the car back on the ground, I consider that a win, right? And it is for the next guy to start moving forward. That is how much of a hole we are in. Look at the $37 trillion in debt, right? Look at the 30 million illegals we have. Trump is, I got to give the guy a lot of credit. He is tackling problems, cultural problems. What Republican in our lifetime, Jesse, has ever said, we need to look at the crap in the Smithsonian? It's all bondage expositions and LGBTQ and slavery. He's like, why can't we have a museum that looks beautiful, that celebrates America? No Republican would touch. You think Jeb Bush would have touched the Smithsonian's? So Trump is fighting on every single battle, not just energy, not just national security and immigration, but every battle. If we can finish 4 years and with people like Lee Zeldin out of the ditch, we've made great progress. But we are far from advancing. And I think this goes back to our ancient Romans who said, give them bread and circuses and you'll never have revolution, right? They give us TikTok, which should have been banned on day one. And they give us rebate checks, and all this crap to keep us entertained. And they think we won't notice as they continue to drive us in or leave us in the ditch. So I don't mean to sound pessimistic. I think I'm just very, very acutely aware, as are you and your audience, of how bad the situation is. It is just a miracle we have not completely fallen into the abyss, right? Last November was a gift from God, because if we had Kamala right now, I can't imagine where in the hell we would be. I mean, look at our British friends. People getting arrested for memes on social media. That's what happens when you give up your guns. But that's where our British friends are. That would have been us effortlessly. We'd all have been in jail. And if I was lucky, Jesse, I would have shared a cell with you. At least I would have laughed a little while I was being tortured.
Well, that's all we have when they're pulling our fingernails out. He is Daniel Turner with Power of the Future. Thank you so much, my brother. I appreciate you.